Hello, and if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Today's video is for the series on my channel called Black Superheroes You Didn't Know About. For today's hero, we will be discussing Batwing, a 1973 superhero. Before we get into it, cue the intro. For those of you who don't know who Batwing is, he's a hero created in 1973, whose real name is David Zavimbi. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. He first appeared in the Batman comics issue number 250. His powers and skill set consist of being a prodigious armed and unarmed combatant, framed as one of the most gifted child soldiers in African history. Natural aptitude for weapons and infiltration as well. Martial arts training from the time in the police academy and prodigious tactical insight. He has also been trained by Batman as a detective like Nightwing, Red Robin, and Red Hood. David has an indomitable will and pain threshold above that of a normal human. David was able to still fight even after having his lung punctured by a machete at close range. While still suffering from that injury, he flew half a mile to engage the villain, Massacre. Massacre is known to have killed thousands of people across hundreds of worlds. He also has a rivalry with Superman. Only blood loss prevented his optimal functioning in combat. He is a peak human athlete in exceptional condition. Like most of the Bat family, he has no superhuman abilities. His powers come from his bat suit, jet-propelled flight, and wings that glide on air currents. His suit is also reinforced and serves as armor, enhancing his physical blows while protecting him from injury. His mask also has infrared specs, allowing him to see in the dark. His gauntlets also appear to be able to generate energy blades. David was a young boy from Tanasha. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. It's a small fictional country in the DC comics in Africa, who grew up with his brother Isaac. When they were young, their parents died from diseases. Batwing issue number 1. Homeless and alone, they were recruited as boy soldiers to fight in the war that ravaged the country. David was a huge fan of the African super team, the Kingdom, who he found inspirational. Along with Isaac, he became the main enforcer of the General Kita, who nicknamed them the Dragonflies because of their speed, natural fighting ability, and willingness to kill. Batwing issue number 3. While they killed for Kita, they did so more out of the misguided perception that he was a surrogate father and his army was their family. They eventually had a disagreement after they were ordered to kill his rival Ukuru. They agreed to kill him stealthily, but Kita wanted the entire village ravaged. Refusing to kill the innocent, they warned the village, infuriating Kita, who reprimands David, causing a brutal fight between his brother Isaac and Kita. Isaac was brutally scarred and tossed off a cliff by Kita while David flees. That night, David sneaks into Kita's camp, drugs him, and takes him to Ukuru's camp, bound and defenseless, before leaving him to his fate. Batwing issue number 4. The loss of his brother prompted him to escape this life by abandoning his old ways and going into a child shelter for orphans of the war. Here, he met Matu Ba and Renee Diala, who became his parental figures. This is also where he met Rachel Nyama, with whom he shared his first kiss. Batwing issue number 18. Over time, he learned martial arts and became a police officer in his country. The death of Renee and Def Jack spurs him into becoming a vigilante, since the police was ineffective and corrupt. Batwing issue 0. When Batman was in Africa looking for leads on Leviathan, he met David and assisted him in battling guerrilla soldiers in Africa. Batman also trained David to be his representative in Africa and supplied him with more technology of the power of the suit and advanced AI computers, databases in his own Batcave. Batwing issue number 0. David conducted himself well on the test mission and helped Batman against Leviathan. Batman then granted him the title of Batman of Africa and trusted the protection of the nation to him. He later assisted Batman in uncovering the location of all of Leviathan's soldiers globally. He then starts a one-man war on crime all over Africa. He then began a long-running feud with Massacre after the villain began systematically killing members of the kingdom. The villain managed to even run him through with his sword at one point, Batwing issue number 1. At the end climax of the battle in Egypt, he discovered that this killing engine was his long-thought-dead brother Isaac, Batwing issue number 8. But an explosion apparently killed him before they can reconcile. He briefly joined the Justice League International, where he fought the villain Lightweaver. Justice League International number 8. After the Justice League International disbanded, he was pulled into conflict with the Court of Owls, Batwing issue number 9. It was hinted he had unspecified history with Vixen, Justice League International number 8. Along with Nightwing and the Bat family, he ended up globe-trotting and saving lives while facing off with Lord Battle and saving Matuba, Batwing issue number 10, 11, and 12. David's next adventure involves a cult led by a metahuman, telepath/magician Father Lost, and being reunited with Rachel Niyama, who was now the vigilante Dawn. At the end of the conflict, Dawn disappears after being injured and Father Lost is in jail. Batwing issue number 13, 14, and 15. Batwing attempts to jail a billionaire serial killer's son, but is confronted by Dawn, his own corrupt co-workers and villain, which left his father Matuba at death's door and destroyed his power suit. Batwing issue number 16, 17, and 18. Filled with righteous rage over the escape of this killer, Batwing uses all his resources to track him down, beat him into submission, carry him back to jail, defeat Dawn while attempting to reform her, badly injured the billionaire before making it back to Matuba's bedside. David witnessed the death of his last true friend and was left broken. He contacted Batman, who met him at Matu's grave, where David gave up the Batwing mantle as he decided to find his own way in the world. Batwing issue number 19.